Hey, it's John Benson, and today I want to share the secret to double the sales of any page you send to. Anytime you send to it, double the sales. First, come a little closer. Come here. I want to tell you a little story. And that, my friend, is an open loop. What is it? Why do you want to create it? How does it drive sales through the roof? I'm going to explain it all in today's video. I am John Benson, and this is Sales Copy Secrets. Welcome back, and today's video is all about how to use open loops to 2x or more your sales and your video view time. This is super important if you're a YouTuber as well, man, let me tell you. And of course, if you do video sales letters or if you write sales pages, you gotta know this stuff. If you're into copywriting or want to be a copywriter, or you're a marketer looking to improve their copywriting, this is rich and fertile ground, baby. So before we begin, a couple quick reminders. Number one, I want you to watch all the way to the end, because toward the end, I'm going to reveal where to put these open loops. It's not just at the start of a video. There's other places too, and you need to know exactly where to put them and how to close them out. It's one thing to have an open loop. It's another thing not to close it. And as always, if I've earned your like, if you just can't help yourself but to obliterate that like button, do so right now. And please like, share, subscribe, comment below, all that good stuff. Ring the bell for notifications if you are super cool. And as always, I have a persuasion reminder. These are sales samurai skills, which means I'm giving you a sword. I'm giving you a weapon. So I'm asking you to use it ethically and responsibly. Are we good with that? Awesome. So let's talk about open loops. Open loops is a term that comes from neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP. It's a way of hyper engaging a prospect using a topic or a subject matter that you know for sure that they really love. And right when you start getting into it, you yank the carpet out from underneath the feet and they tumble down and they're like going, hey, I was just watching that. Now, the cool thing is this creates something in the subconscious mind that is like a loop, which is why they call it an open loop. And the subconscious mind will loop on this lack of resolve until it is resolved, causing a little tension and a super degree of focus. You know how like there's certain medications you can take to increase your attention span? You know how they work? Not exactly in the best way possible maybe, but they do work this way. Well, you're kind of amped up and you're paying attention. Well, it's like that, only nowhere near as powerful, because we don't want to be as powerful. That's kind of dangerous. But you do get a big time dopamine hit when you resolve your open loop. You're going to give your prospects a little dopamine hit, and that's kind of cool. And the conclusion of this is it takes their attention and just laser focuses that attention right on you and your sales message. Very important. Now, I use these in every video I've ever done. I use them even on my YouTube videos. In fact, go back and watch all of my YouTube videos until the end, please. And you will see, seriously, how many pattern interrupts and open loops and all the NLP tricks I'm talking about here in the series I use, and most certainly I use them on every single video sales letter I've ever done. Not just once, not just twice, as much as 9 times.
9 times.
9 times.
Okay, stay right there. I got to get something. This is an acoustic bass. And normally I don't wear my acoustic bass as if I'm wearing like a straitjacket. But because this table is not set up for bass performance, I'm going to have to do it this way. Don't worry, this is not a music lesson. This is a copywriting lesson. So check this out. I want you to think of an open loop like a major scale in music. And don't worry, you don't need to know music theory to understand what I'm talking about. You've heard a major scale all your life. And I want you to think of it as the non-resolution of that major scale. So picture this. You want to hear this note, don't you? Whoa, why weren't you happy with that note? Okay, maybe not that note. How about this note? Not those two notes either? Not that tritone? Why is that? Because your brain is programmed to want resolve. So when I play this, you want to hear that really bad, don't you? Yeah, you do. Okay, that was an idea I came up with on the spur of the moment, top of my head. I didn't have an amp plugged in, so sorry if that sounded kind of weird. But by the way, I did used to be a professional bass player. And it was a lot of fun, and you would not believe how much copywriting and music have in common. There's rhythm, there's pace, There's the scale, the resolution issues we were just talking about. I'm going to do videos on that in the future if you're interested. But back to our topic, resolution. Open loops demand resolution. You have to have them resolved in your subconscious mind. That means people will stick around longer to get that unconscious resolution they don't even know they're looking for. And resolution not only commands attention, it secures attention. Now I'm going to read off a couple of examples of open loops that I've used in the past, or they're very common, and I think you'll see where we're going with this. This one would be an open loop for, say, a weight loss sales letter. Ready? Hey there, I'm John Benson. I have really awesome news for you today. Medical science has solved the problem of weight loss. And much to the scientists' shock, it wasn't the old advice that never really works, like just don't eat as much and exercise a lot. The real answer to weight loss stunned everyone in the research center. And I'm going to reveal that secret today in just a few minutes. Before I reveal it to you today, you first really need to know blank. Everyone remotely interested in weight loss going, could you just tell me the secret, please? First, I want to tell you something else. That is an open loop. And that blank, by the way, can be anything remotely informative. It could even be something about you. It can be a complete non sequitur, meaning it's not related specifically to what you were just saying. It literally can be almost anything. And the cool thing, as long as they're interested in it, as long as it's remotely interesting, they're going to keep watching for that big time secret. Now, you don't have to use anything as outspoken and grandiose as I just wrote to make this work. I just did it to prove a point. This is a teaching lesson, but you get the idea. Open loops demand resolution. Now, here's an open loop for, say, the end of a series of sales bullets or the end of a series of benefits. And I did a video on benefits and sales bullets, and you can check them out at the end of this video if you want to, but check this out. This is a really cool place to put an open loop. First, you show your series of bullets or benefits, bam, 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 all these benefits. And then you say this. And if all that sounds good to you, just wait. I'm about to reveal a breakthrough way to get it all in less than half the time. Does that interest you? Good. I'll share that in just a moment. First, we need to talk seriously about blank. And again, I just leave people hanging like, what? How do I do it twice as fast? I'll tell you in a few minutes if you just stick around and watch my video so I can persuade you more, so I can sell you on how you getting the idea, the light bulb's going off. I hope so, because this is the way you do it. Now, as I hinted to earlier, I've opened as many as 9 loops in one video, with none of them being closed until the very end, meaning they were what's called nested loops. So there's not just one open loop, there's 2 and 3 and 4. It's like a Mozartian, is that a word? Way of just magnifying the freaking persuasion and magnetism and super, I have to get this resolved or I'm going to have my head explode like that guy from the movie Scanners, which I'm not going to show. That being said, I do not recommend you doing that unless you are a pro and you know exactly what you're doing. That can just drive people crazy and like, I don't have any total cognitive dissonance. I have to bail. But you can use a few nested loops, but you always have to close your loops. That's very important. So that begs the question, John, where do I close my loops? Well, first of all, I recommend keeping a sheet of paper handy and literally writing down what your open loops are, where you put them, and where you intend to resolve them. It's all too easy to forget all about where those loops are in your script, and you can leave a couple of them open, and people feel a state of unresolution, and sometimes that can lead to a loss of a sale. So let me show you how and where I would end and close the loops that I just opened, okay? Now the first example is really obvious because it was the start of my video, and where I would resolve that open loop is when I introduce a hook or whatever it may be. Pretty obvious place to do it, but here's how I would say it. Now remember and think back to when I said, and then I would repeat my open loop. Well, here's the story behind that. And then I would tell them the story behind the open loop. Now, there's some really tricky NLP in here, and I'm going to break this down for you bit by bit. Now is an NLP command term which demands immediacy. Remember is the next word. Now remember. Remember is a recall command, and that's asking someone to go back into their brain and remember what you said. Clearly, that's it. But in NLP, it also reacts a little bit like a hypnotic pattern. Ericksonian hypnosis uses this really well. Like, remember. If I ask you to remember something, guess what? The next thing I say, you're going to either, number 1, remember it, recall it immediately, or number 2, think that you missed it if I never said it before. And that's what's really cool about that remember command. I can tell you, hey, remember, it's on sale until Sunday. But I never mentioned it's on sale until Sunday. And you're going, wait, did I miss that? So what stands out in their mind? on sale until Sunday. You're welcome. Now, these are all NLP frames. That's what they're called. I call, remember, a regression trigger because you're kind of taking someone back in time and back into what was said before. And then I double down on it by saying, and think back. That's another regression tactic. And think back to when I said, and then I just repeat what I said. And then I close out what I said by saying, well, here's what I mean by that. Boom. It's a closed loop. Now let's close that second loop that I opened without any of the fancy NLP tricks. Cool. Like I said earlier, there is a way you can get, and I would recall all the benefits or some of the benefits in less than half the time. And that's all thanks to my new blueprint or system or training or whatever called NAME. So I would use this right before I introduce the actual product itself, or as a reminder of the product, meaning I've already introduced it. And I said, now remember when I said this? It all comes inside product name. Now you can go more elaborate. You can list off more benefits. You can do all sorts of things here, but that is pretty much it on how to close the loop and make sure that your customer gets that feeling of relief and resolution. So this has been how to use open loops to double, 2x your sales and view time. And now you know all about how to create open loops and how it can help copywriters and marketers capture and secure the attention of a prospective buyer so you can avoid lost sales and low view times. I believe this one copywriting tip can help you become a better copywriter, start in the world of copywriting, improve your marketing skills, and just make you a better person overall. Now, in the next video is one of my favorite topics, the art and science of the juicy verb. What's a juicy verb? I'm going to explain it in the next video, and I will tell you why. Juicy verbs are the easiest way to turn C-level copy into A-level copy over a few minutes of time simply by noticing that they're not there, okay? I'm going to give you all the tricks in the next video. So until then, remember to like, share, subscribe, comment below, let me know what you think, and I am John Benson. I am here to make you unignorable.